I am honestly struggling to know what to think about The Little Match Girl. This is a 1937 short animated film directed by Charles Mintz that was nominated for the Best Animated Short Film at the 10th Academy Awards in 1937. It didn't win the Oscar. The winner was The Old Mill, a Walt Disney Silly Symphony short that I'm not a fan of. One of the other nominees is a Max Fleischer for Paramount film called Educated Fish, which was a lot of fun. The Little Match Girl is... I was aware of the story. I had a book of The Little Match Girl when I was younger, so I kind of knew what it was about, but I thought there's no way that they're going to end it the same way. So I will say what happens at the end, because I kind of feel like that's the most important thing about the main takeaway from this. But if you don't want to know what the ending is, I will just say very briefly, the animation style is very cute. I think the sound effects were really great. The editing was brilliant. Even though it's quite long, it lasts about 7 minutes, I believe, and not a lot seems to happen. It is quite captivating. A couple of the scenes, mainly the one with the babies with the stars on their head, I felt dragged out a bit too long. Ultimately, a nice short. So, honestly, I can't get over how depressing this is. I knew the story. If you're unaware of the story, it's about a little girl who sells matches. And this starts fabulously. It starts with bright, merry music. I think it starts with Joy to the World or Auld Lang Syne or something like that. We quickly learn that it's New Year's Eve, New Year's Day afterwards. Everybody's celebrating and merry. And then soon the music begins to soften. We get the same songs, but they're a lot more mellow, a lot more somber, a lot more gentle. And the wind picks up as the music slows down, and the little match girl is struggling against the wind, and she sits down in the snow, freezing cold, and tries to light her matches to keep warm. And she has these kind of, I guess what are represented as dreams, but I feel like it's more her drifting in and out of consciousness. And then eventually she freezes to death and dies. It's just... It's an important story, and it's really moving. But when you see it in animated form like this, something that is going to appeal to children, it is so dark, so depressing, especially in the 1930s, when, this was going to be a lot more frequent than it is now. It's very unlikely that a little girl selling matches would die of pneumonia on the streets. But she did, and I have to say the animation of the angel was really beautiful. I really thoroughly enjoyed that aspect. It was peculiar and unexpected. I genuinely thought they'd take a different approach with the ending. I'm not saying that she would have lived happily ever after, but I was just surprised at how blunt and in your face it was. It is very morbid, beautifully done, very well put together. The music is incredible. The editing of the music, the pacing of the music, the choices of the well-known songs, it's just fantastic. The narrative, obviously, is a very well-known story, and it's very moving, even though nothing really happens. The pacing of the actual narrative is pretty good. It's just so depressing. It's so dark, and I kind of feel like it might have won. I feel like it would have been a better contender than The Old Mill, but never mind. I enjoyed it. I probably won't watch it again because it is depressingly morbid, but it's a worthy nominee, and if you get a chance to watch it, definitely do. I think it'll make you feel something. What that something is, though, it depends entirely on your attitude towards the little match girl, but personally I found it very moving.